this is how you can shift into feeling peaceful and being peaceful and living a completely different way of life. Experiencing effortlessness and ease of life. In just a few months. You don't need to heal. There is nothing that needs to be healed. When you stop trying to heal your past trauma, negative emotions, basically things that never needed to be healed in the first place, and you start being aware of your thoughts and emotions, all those things that you have been trying to heal for so many years will leave your experience. When you understand the nature of consciousness, you stop reinforcing the mind that creates the false sense of separation, and you will move into permanent state of inner peace, into living or feeling content all day long. Every single client I worked with, when they came to me, they listed all sorts of healings that they had done. Last week, one of you wrote in the application to work with me, listed many things, many therapies, light therapy, and healing modalities that you've tried over the years, I think over decades, over 15 years or so, and that didn't help you to get the results you wanted. And this video will make you understand why the healings or the healing you have done either worked only for a short-term period of time, or they never worked. In my free video training, I use the analogy of a dream. And when you're dreaming, there are other people in the dream. And there is also you, the character in the dream. And there are healers, and they're healing, and other people are getting results. And this is, again, this is what I've been asked so many times. It's like, Daniela, but there are so many people that this energy healing worked for them, and they are testimonials. How come it doesn't work for me, or worked only partially and then it stopped working? Well, because in the dream there are other people, but when you wake up, and again I go into this analogy and explaining more about the nature of consciousness in this free video training. When you wake up, there is only you. There are no other people, right? So you cannot take feedback from other people and what works for them. Any healing reinforces the sense of separation. And in order for the ego to reinforce the false sense of separation, it gives you the illusion of control. And this is the whole nature of consciousness and your life experience. The false perception of control. And one goes through 4 main stages of consciousness. And you will see, when you realize the 4 stages, you will see how the ego keeps the illusion of control and reinforces itself with the illusion of control. The whole nature of your life experience is really about going through those 4 stages of consciousness, and it's really about returning from where you came from, which is the unity consciousness, when you were born. And this is the pureness, this is the innocence, this is why we call, or why we say that babies are innocent or kids are innocent. They are pure, and it's because there is no ego. No one is born with ego. No one is born with mind, with identity. So there is no identity. There is no concept of I am, and this is mine, and who I am, right? It's a state of unity consciousness, which is state of awareness. It's babies or kids function in this state, and they see themselves and perceive themselves as life. There is no separation between the person, but at that age they don't know that they are a person, and life. Everything happens, and everything is spontaneous. Everything, there is spontaneity. One may cry, and then in split second one may laugh, and there is no guilt. There are no negative emotions about negative emotions, or there are no positive emotions about positive emotions, like, oh, this is great and this is bad. No, it just is, and life happens. And then the ego starts to create the separations, the identity. And I do talk about this in the previous video, which I did in the last video. So that starts the ego journey, the separation. So the first stage is it's an unconscious state where the ego has been created over the years, and you may have been you had been living in that stage for a number of years, and it's a stage of being completely unconscious, meaning working, looking, doing what society tells you to do. This is how things are, not questioning much, probably working from 9 to 5, living for weekends and vacations, and very physical life, right? Then something might have happened in your life, and maybe it forced you to quit your job and you started a big business. So you went from 9 to 5 to business, maybe coaching, maybe other business. Maybe it was a relationship crisis, maybe it was illness. Something happened, and you moved into creator consciousness, and now it's the consciousness. Life is happening through me. Life is happening through me, meaning it's a I do things. I have motivation. It's a lot of mindset work. I can do things on my own. I am the one who is responsible for my life, my hard work, my dedication, my motivations. There's all over social media and online world these create a consciousness when it's just like go, 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 right? And the ego takes just another form. The unconscious, from the unconscious state, again, ego, because there is complete separation from life and it's living in my identity. Now, the ego takes another form. And then something happens. And it may have happened in your life when you went through dark night of the soul, some kind of maybe spiritual experience, maybe twin flame experience, maybe even illness, maybe something that led you on the path of healing, subconscious healing, ancestors healing, all kind of healing trauma, and spiritual world, right? You discovered spiritual world and now you're doing a lot of modalities, and this is probably where you are when you are watching, since you're watching this video. And this is the next stage, completely in the spiritual realm, completely in the belief shifting and healing modalities. And the ego took form of the spiritual person. I call it spiritual ego. But again, there is still a sense of separation, because I need to heal myself. I need to heal myself, whether I'm talking about emotional healing, mental healing, trauma healing, subconscious healing, or physical healing, physical illness. I need to heal myself to get to the higher consciousness, to increase my consciousness, to increase my awareness, to do something, right? I may do journaling, I may do letters to universe, manifesting, and I need to heal, so I easily manifest things, and abundance comes, or the health comes, or the relationship comes, the divine relationship comes. A lot of healing. And this is just another, as I said, another form of ego, because there is still separation. As long as you live in separation, there will be things that you need to heal. You will experience trauma, you will experience negative emotions, you will experience negative thoughts, you will experience challenges in life, because you are in that dream, playing the role or dreaming that you need to do that. You are separate, and as the nature of consciousness, you need to get the negative experiences, and they need to be so unbearable that you start questioning it, that you literally come to the full stop, and will maybe ask the question which my clients ask me when they come to me, is like, why this hasn't been working for me? How come it works for everyone? Like, you start asking questions no one asks. You start looking at the world, what people are doing, and realizing something's amiss, something's not right. This is not how this world functions. Like, you start questioning things. Why? Because you are constantly facing negative experiences or challenges, and no one can help you. No healer can help you, no matter how good they are, no matter what kind of authority they are, no matter how amazing testimonials they have. They cannot help you. Why they cannot help you? Because they are a character in your dream. And the type of the dreams, you will keep dreaming nightmares. So you are being forced to drop that doing, to drop the things that reinforce the ego, and to turn towards yourself. Not to heal yourself, not to look for higher self inside, but to use that which you've always had, to use your awareness to transcend the mind. And again, in my video training, I do go into detail of how you are either in the mind, in the ego, in the false sense of separation, or in the pure state, in your natural state, in the state of awareness. And in this state, the ego cannot reinforce itself. It cannot reinforce the false sense of separation, so it dies. The mind gets quiet. And this is how, so just by being aware, and first being aware of the world, but then being aware of yourself, and go deeper into awareness, the mind, the ego, quiets down. The separation, the false sense of separation, which never was there and never existed, dissolves, and you return back into the unity consciousness, which is the fourth stage, which is I am life. Life doesn't happen to me. Life doesn't happen for me. Life doesn't happen through me. I am life. The fourth stage, the unity consciousness, it's full surrendering. There is no separation. So what means I am life is that there is a perception that life is happening and I am inseparable part of it, but none of that happens is my doing. I claim no credit. I have no ambition. There is no past and there is no future. There is only now, every moment when life happens. So it's a full acceptance of life, full surrender. So it's not claiming anything. It's just being aware of what is, and recognizing the unity. In other words, you wake up from the dream. Are you still in the physical body? Yeah. But now the nightmares disappear. You don't see challenges, you don't see problems, you don't perceive anything negative. Everything is, and everything needs to be, and everything is the way it needs to be. This is what Jesus meant when he said, you need to be born again to enter the kingdom of heaven. The peace, the gratitude, the love, the abundance, the ease. It's really just effortless peace. It doesn't mean dying physically. It means the death of the ego, death of the mind, death of the separation. And you need to stop healing yourself and just become aware. My whole teaching is about how to be aware and how to become aware in your everyday life. Because you are born as awareness, you die as awareness. And in between, it's the ego, it's the mind, it's the separation. So watch my videos. I created playlist, and I will link it below. Watch it. In each video you will find something that will move you more into being aware and practice. There is another playlist which are awareness meditations. Watch those and listen to those. Don't watch those, listen to those, and then practice being aware in your everyday life. This is how you can shift into feeling peaceful and being peaceful and living a completely different way of life. Experiencing effortlessness and ease of life. In just a few months. You don't need to heal. There is nothing that needs to be healed. It's just a play of the ego. Which is the illusion itself, because there is only consciousness. There is no ego in consciousness. There is only consciousness. giving you a perception of ego and the mind. But this is everything that you need to experience, and the realization needs to come as your direct experience. This is the work you need to do, which is not work. Just be aware, because life is happening, and everything that is happening in your everyday life is happening for you to be aware. You don't need to do anything with it. You don't need to analyze your thoughts. You don't need to analyze your emotions or ask why you're why am I feeling this way? You don't need to dig your subconscious trauma. It all dissolves when you use your awareness. Because awareness is your natural state. Awareness is. That is who you are.